Hi everybody, it's me with another video which I want to shoot along the same lines as the previous one that I did about collecting on a shoestring budget. For this video, I'm going to present a work that is going to convey perhaps the importance of having a narrative with the work. I want to emphasize on that dialogue that perhaps art aficionados, art professionals, or collectors find when collecting a work. There's a sense of resonance. There's a resonance that one has with the work that is collecting, that is admiring, and that resonance, that dialogue is beyond the aesthetics. For this video, I choose a work that I bought about 6 months ago, and it's from a Hong Kong Japanese artist called Muzuki Nishiyama. And the work is here. The work is called BDZP, and I know the reflection is quite not necessarily good, but I'll put the image on the screen. And the reason I acquired this work was because it resonated with me in a very personal level. The work in itself, as you can see by perhaps the composition, where you see all the faces that are masks, that are perhaps you can identify them culturally. And having that expression of tension. There's a tension. There's some phrases that look like even frightened. There is a tension that the artist is exploring. And I talked to her. Mizuki-san's background is what we call a third culture kid. She is of Japanese, Chinese, Hong Kong heritage, and she also grew up. She studied in the United States, where she was living on her own, enjoying the freedoms of being a student, artistic student, and expressing openly and widely. And my understanding is that the work that I'm presenting here was produced during that period. And also I understand that she also lived in Italy, so she having this kind of like a multicultural in her, and that naturally creates a conflict when self-reflecting, right? Self-consciousness is quite innate in all of us, right? To being self-conscious to a point that even artificial intelligence, one of the main tests is to realize if the machine is self-conscious in itself. And that self-consciousness is it could be conflicting. And that when I went to see her studio, when I went to her studio to talk to her and meet her and perhaps understand her practice and her background and the motivations behind the works, she always told me about like that kind of like thoughts that she has about identity and being who she is, right, as a person, the sense of identity, which is interesting. It's very common among millennial artists. She is a millennial artist, and it is very strong. That sense of identity exploration is very strong among millennial artists. And what I like about Mizuki's exploration and expression is that she's very out there. She is not holding anything up. Her works are, you can describe them as perhaps very raw. Some works perhaps grotesque and very explicit. Not explicit in a way like very raw, very, very emotionally charged. And perhaps that comes from the necessity to perhaps liberate her that inner conflict in itself. And this is something that I think a little resonates with me. And when I was looking at the work, which I found it absolutely beautiful, that clash that she has, that expression about, especially on being multicultural, and that fear, that because that the work in itself, as you can see on the composition, it encapsulates so much charge, from fear to tension to anxiety, everything. This is something that I do see that is growing up, especially today, in the current geopolitical climate, where there's evident that the tensions between East and West ideologies are coming are creating heated friction. And when I bought the work, when I studied, so when I went to a studio and I saw the whole body of works, something that I found quite interesting was the different compositions and the different period that she has been going through. This work, as I said earlier, she was produced. My understanding was produced during her days in New York, when she was pretty much living on her own and she was pretty much free to express and feeling this, having that sense of liberation. And her works, as you can see on the composition, is has a lot of depth, right? So she's using a lot of layering and darkness and shades and tonalities of greens and so on, to add a lot of atmosphere into the work, to convey that emotion. And when I went to her studios, the one that she had been producing in Hong Kong, where she's surrounded by her family, the works lack that darker depth, a bit flatter, if I can say it if I can express it that way. And I asked her about that, and then she was telling me that her surroundings do affect her practice. That here, perhaps because she has the surrounding of family, she's a bit more cautious, whereas in the United States she was a bit freer. Not because it was one place or another one, it's because perhaps she was on her own and she was very open to explore, with no inhibition. She was exploring everything, from even with her more darkest secrets and memories. And that's the reason why you see these works. And the works that you find, especially the latest works, are a bit more toned down. However, I have seen her really latest works, and she's back to that darkness. And I mean, we became very good friends, and I have very good conversations about her. And I remember having that dialogue, saying like, what resonates perhaps with the audience is going to be that freedom that you have to really embrace and go into your darkest thoughts and express them through works, and projecting work that are so emotionally charged, people will connect to them. And that's the reason I bought it. And I think that's the reason why I want to keep this work. It's part of the collection, and the reason why I want to keep it is because it's a work that tells me that human fragility is something that is innate in all of us. That seeing it and having conflicting thoughts and conflicting moments is absolutely natural. And this work is in my bedroom right now. And I wake up every day to see it, and I found it extremely recharging emotionally. And that for me is the real value of this work. It has that strong emotional charge in me, a strong emotional value. I have a strong sense of attachment because, as I said perhaps on previous videos, it reminds me that I'm a human being with feelings, even if those feelings are dark and sinister. It's natural to have them. I mean, you can quote psychology and Carl Jung with the archetypes and the shadows. It's absolutely fine to embrace those shadows and that those darker sides and make them part of you. And I think that work and the fact her practice overall, that she's confronting that so openly, is quite admirable. So yeah, I wanted to perhaps present that thought, and the reason why I want this, why I think this work is going to retain value over time, because it's really exploring a natural human aspect, which is human fragility. And her practice is very strong. I think you look at her works. If she posts everything on Instagram, and you'll find perhaps, I do realize that her works are not for everybody, but if you can connect to those works, and also if you can talk to her, you'll realize that that she will remind you the beauty of what it means to be a human being. And yeah, so that was the exercise that I wanted to do. That was the short video that I wanted to present about the work. And again, I mean, do send me questions if you want to talk about this or other works. I'm more than happy to answer. I mean, I do learn a lot from dialogue, and certainly I have tons to learn from you guys when you tell me about your thoughts about works. And on that thought, and probably as I announced previously about like my initiative to open Split Second, the consultancy service, is primarily to have this dialogue, to have these conversations, because I do know that there's a lot of people perhaps that feel disoriented, or not only, or even institutions that they have a necessity to collect because of wealth preservation, and they do feel disoriented, and they are buying works not necessarily without a reasoning. And I think I want to, through this exercise that I'm trying to set up, the consultancy, I want to instigate, I want to stimulate a critical thinking, especially in art appreciation. And because I think it's very valuable. Artists explore the unknown, like in the case of Mizuki-san, she's really venturing into her darkest memories and thoughts and expressing them out, because we all have them. It's part of being human fragility. So I want to through the consultancy, I want to stimulate the thought and embrace it, saying like it is absolutely fine to confront your fears in the sake for the sake of art. So yeah, so I mean, by all means, do send me a message, and if you want to talk further, by all means, I'm here, and I'm only a message away. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think if you guys like it, I'll continue to do content like this. I think it's quite valuable, and yeah, do let me know. Okay, guys, cheers, bye.